Well, hey, Stacey, welcome to Slightly Filtered with you and me.
Yeah. You know what I have to say to you?
Huh. Oh, well, I'm so sorry that you lost that foosball.
Oh, man. Oh, man. It was such a difficult game. When we were done and I knew I had to put makeup on and change for this, I had to go in the bathroom, close the door, get paper towels and wipe the sweat off because I was trying so hard
You got
to beat you. It was a good game.
We're making the studio fun.
Yes. I haven't played foosball in years.
Yeah.
That was good.
MC and we got that. I tease her. I say we should play this every morning. The loser has to do the news.
Oh, yeah. Well, do I have to do the news?
No, you didn't know that ahead of time.
I'll do the news. I don't mind doing the news. It's okay. One day maybe. But
Sure.
We are here slightly filtered. Slightly filtered. We know that there are 7 words we're not allowed to say on the radio.
What are they again?
Yeah, I'm not going to say them. I can do sign language. I could do it under here if you're going to sit it, but I don't even want Jimmy to be able to see me do sign language here on the air because he said I could hold my hands out and everybody can see everything.
Jimmy in the studio over there running the board.
Right, wearing a tie that has Dilbert on it.
Oh, he loves Dilbert.
He's loving Dilbert. I didn't know who it was.
Really? Oh my gosh.
And
he's still working with you?
Well,
Anyway.
I think he sort of has to because you made him.
Tell us about our guest today.
Jennifer Crittenden, I'm so happy to have you in the studio. Thank you very much. Jennifer has been here in the Eastern Sierra. Let me see. Your older son was, let me remember, 19 when you guys moved up here, right? And your younger son, where you had to register him, was at the middle school?
Yeah.
You had to register him in the middle school. So what year was that?
Yeah, let's see. So I first came up to the Eastern Sierra in 1993
Okay.
as a visitor. And then we just progressively started coming more often. It's such a common story for Southern Californians. And then, we took the plunge in 2014 to come up to be here full time.
And where did you plunge from?
Del Mar, San Diego.
Oh, wow.
Del Mar's not a bad area.
No.
Oh, no.
It's overpopulated now, though.
Yeah, it's
Whole
it's
area.
a different culture. The area looks different. I mean, even though it's only 7 hours apart, it's a big switch to go from one to the other. I'm originally from the Midwest, and I think there are a lot of commonalities actually in the Eastern Sierra and the Midwest, that kind of can-do attitude. And rural.
Where in the Midwest?
Southern Indiana.
So I don't think I've ever met anybody from Indiana. Have you ever known anybody from Indiana?
No, isn't that the Hoosier state?
It's a Hoosier state. Good for you.
So I know the
Yeah, we tend not to venture far. I don't know why.
So how did you get from Indiana to California? That's a big move.
Yeah, I actually started coming to California right after college. So I moved to Berkeley, and then when I was working for Bristol Myers Squibb, I went to Santa Barbara. And then my third move to California was to San Diego. So progressively south, and then I think that's as far as I can go.
So Bristol Myers Squibb, the pharmaceutical company.
Yeah.
And were you a pharmaceutical rep?
No, I worked in finance, corporate finance.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I had a big corporate career in corporate finance.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea because we met through the Mammoth Times
Right.
because I was working at the Mammoth Times and then Wendy hired you to help edit a whole bunch of things and write some things, and that's how I met you.
Yeah.
So I thought you were just a journalist because you're such a good editor.
Oh, thank you. Well, my undergraduate degree was in linguistics, and I've always been a big reader. So now, and then it's funny, I got my MBA in finance, and now I'm kind of full circle again, back to words. But numbers and words, I think they're just ways of communicating. So really, that's all I'm about is communication.
You know, when she said linguistics,
Mm-hmm.
I'm always intimidated by somebody who says they're a specialist in linguistics
Yeah.
because I'm a writer and I'm supposed to be good, but sometimes I really screw up.
So you don't specialize in linguistics?
No, that's why we have editors like Jennifer to do things. So what does a specialist in linguistics do? I mean, what was your day like when you were linguisticking?
I like that.
I like it. It's sort of, it sounds, kind of like there'd be chemicals involved.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so linguistics is just the study of language as a communication device, but what is common amongst all languages, so not a particular language. And now, of course, it's changed a lot because people are using computers so much for linguistics. So computational linguistics now is huge. And it's amazing how many of the tech companies are now hiring linguists. So it used to be kind of fusty, study of old languages, African languages, or, maybe semiotics, like what signs mean, all these things having to do with the core elements of communication. Now it's all about computers and technology and running data. So, yeah.
Artificial intelligence.
AI. So semiotics, what is that? I've never.
So that's the study of signs.
Oh, like sign language?
Or any kind of signs. Like
One that I'm not allowed to give you on the TV.
No, you're not. I'll put my hand up again. I'll do all of them.
Sorry.
like that, right?
Okay, this is semiotics.
There you go.
Semioticing you. You're being semiotic, Jason.
Oh. Back to Jennifer.
You know why I lost?
What?
Because I was red. And you were blue. Okay, never mind. All right.
Good. Blue is good.
We can switch sides. I won yesterday.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Do it again.
Okay. So you got here in 2014, and after being linguistics and semiotic professional and finance, which it's very rare that you find somebody who does finance as well as writing stuff, because your brain must be really special because it's two different sides of the brain.
Same tool.
They do use the same.
I guess we don't use this anymore, but
I use that all the time. Anyway, so I'm intrigued because of that, because finance is one side, writing is another side.
do you mean right brain, left brain?
You must have never done any drugs in your life. Oh, yeah. You must have never had any
go there.
alcohol.
Maybe that's why.
If it wasn't for your heart thing, it would be getting high with Jason and Stacey.
Okay, let's not talk about my heart thing because I'm all heart. And then you wrote a book after being here for so the book is called Mammoth Letters: Running Away to a Mountain Town.
Yeah.
And tell me about the process of writing that book and why is that your first book?
No, I'd written a book. Let's see. I think I'd just written one book at that point that was about the corporate environment and for women, particularly to fit in, especially a finance world where men were more common. So I'd written that book as a nonfiction book, kind of my experiences in the corporate world, and it was intended to help women who were coming up behind me so that we would have more women.
Mm-hmm.
Because by the time I finished my career as a CFO for a biotech company, there were no women. I mean, I started out with a bunch of women, but they all just sort of fell away.
Why? Do you think that is?
Yeah.
I think they got discouraged. I mean, there's a huge dropout rate for women who have MBAs. I mean, it's just a real phenomenon in the corporate world that women drop away, and in academia as well, and especially in the scientific world where my sister was. So I'd written that book, and then I was going to write another book about what I wanted to write about was about sports language in the business world, because we use so many idioms and so forth having to do with sports language. But once I got up here, I started writing about what I was experiencing here with this brand new culture, this new interesting environment, the history of the area and the geology. So I was writing letters back home, right? And I was loving it, right? I was learning a lot and researching and meeting people, and it was just really a wonderful experience to come up here. So instead of working on what I was supposed to be working on, I started working on the Mammoth Letters instead.
So let's
Hold that book
hold
up.
that book up.
So that was the first book.
So that's the first book about this area.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
that you wrote.
Yeah,
All right.
that I wrote. Yeah.
Okay, great.
And so these are letters that you wrote back to home.
Yeah, and then people were writing saying, you should publish these. These are interesting, because it's a weird combination. It's probably like my brain, because some of it is very factual, right? History, geology, and then some of it is just, my sons and I went to the soccer game today. It's just kind of a funny combination of those two.
Nice.
Yeah, but yeah, it
personal.
was fun. It was personal.
Yeah, it's a good book.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at all the books now.
Well, but before we go there, you told me I couldn't ask a question off camera that we had to wait for the podcast. So since she held it up and it has her last name on it,
Okay.
and it's Crittenden, right? What is the nationality of your name?
It's British.
It's British.
It's
okay.
British, yes. And someone stopped by my office at one point and said, "Did you know that your name means den of pigs?"
Oh, well, we didn't have to go there.
I didn't verify if that's true, but that's what someone told me.
In Old Britain, is that old UK language? It means den of pigs.
Yes.
We should look that up real quick. Den of pigs.
Crittenden. No, you know, you keep talking, I'll look it up.
So your ancestors were farmers then?
I suppose. No, I
Den of pigs.
my strongest heritage is actually Swedish. My grandmother came here when she was 9 from Sweden.
Wow.
So I relate very much to the immigrant experience. I work now a lot as a English teacher for immigrants who are learning English as a second language.
Oh, you do?
So I work with a lot of, especially down in San Diego, a lot of Chinese, Koreans. There's so many of those immigrant groups in San Diego. So I really enjoy working with them and seeing America through their eyes. It's a very positive experience for many of them, right? They really see this as a new opportunity. And then, of course, their kids just flourish, that second generation. So, yeah, it's really inspiring work. It's obviously different than corporate finance and big pharma, but yeah.
Have you done a DNA test to find out?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because I've done it both with Ancestry and 23andMe.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like almost 100% Eastern European.
Oh,
So, yeah. And my husband thought that he was told his whole life he had some Native American in him. So he did it. He had 0 Native American.
I saw nothing that said den of pigs. It says, as a boy's name, it's woodland pasture. So that's
pretty good.
Yeah.
Crittenden.
Maybe that's
Let's go walk in the Crittenden.
Yes.
Right.
Woodland pasture. And
we go.
where did you end up moving to? Woodland pasture.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it. Think you. That's much better than
It sure is, isn't it? Back to the book.
Person didn't want to know what they were talking about. So we have, don't think this is going to air before the Eastern Sierra Book Festival.
Oh, no.
Jason still has to teach me how to edit this because he is so busy with other things. I said, just teach me how to do it so we can get these things in time. But you are have headed this up for how long?
This is our 6th year.
6th year, Eastern Sierra Book Festival. And is it Hayden Cabin?
Yes.
Has it been at Hayden Cabin this entire time?
Yes, it sure has. Under the Temple of Folly, which is this big tent that they have there. And in fact, it started because I purchased a membership, I think, in the Southern Mono Historical Society because I wanted to do a book signing for Mammoth Letters. And then my rational mind took over and was like, who's going to come? No one. So I thought, okay, let's open it up and have all the local authors come so we can kind of celebrate books, especially books written by people who live in this area or books written about this area because it's a really fascinating place, the Eastern Sierra. So that was the impetus for the first year, was just to, gather all the local authors together. Let's get everybody in one place. People can sign their books. And it all grew from there.
Yeah, it did. So are these some of the books? Now, these books can also be purchased at local bookstores.
Yes.
Right? In Mammoth at the Bookie Joint.
Yep.
And down here in Bishop at Stillbinders.
Yep.
And, of course, probably online. So let's what do you've got there? You've got...
Oh, I see this middle book. Empty Cupboards?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I heard that person speaking at this event, too.
Yes. That person is speaking at that event.
Yeah.
So can you
he's
please
telling
put
you
it
to hold the book down.
down.
Yeah,
Not in front of your face, though.
That's okay.
I'll get it right.
Is that okay, Jimmy? Did she get it right? Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Moving right along.
So yes, that person, Stacey Powells,
Empty
is
covered.
speaking.
What else we got?
Yes.
Jesus, like, move away from it.
Yeah, I know. I'm like,
God, if you would have both, I wouldn't do that to you. Mean.
I want to make sure we have time for everyone.
We have time.
Okay.
Okay, so put that one down.
So I just want to, one of the things that's really fun about the festival is to see the books emerge, right, over time. And so, Stacey, you've been working on this book for a long time.
20-some years.
And it's, that's so rewarding for me, right, to have an event where we can talk about your experience of writing this book, especially memoir, which is really a great genre for many people in this area who've had interesting lives, and that people like to read memoir, too. So we're super happy.
Yeah, there's a chapter in there where people are going, are you still talking to your sister? Like,
I know. Yeah, memoir is tough.
Yeah, it is tough. We got this one.
So let me show this one too. Here's our keynote speaker. So this is Char Miller.
No, he's a good. He's not telling you.
Good.
He's not high, right? He's so, great
Put it
job.
down a little bit. Okay, there you go.
Natural Consequences by who? Char Miller?
Yeah, Char
Okay.
Miller. He's a professor at Powells College, and so he's going to keynote for us. He is a very accomplished author and speaker, a great speaker, by the way. You should definitely come to see him speak. But this book is a little bit of a departure for him because it's really personal narratives about his experiences with the environment. He's a professor of environmental analysis and history. Don't miss him. He'll be great. We're also really honored to have Mark Johnson come to the book festival also this year. Mark Johnson is a photographer and writer about professional cycling. And this is actually his first book. I don't have a copy of his second book, which is really the one he's going to be talking about, which is about doping in cycling and in sports in general. He'll speak at 1:00.
Okay.
So that's a big feather in our cap to get Mark here. I've been trying to get him to come to the festival for years, and this year it finally worked out that he could come. So,
and then you've got the Convict Lake book right there. I see.
Yeah. So what
author coming or?
Yeah. So Richard Mallard unfortunately has passed away.
Oh well,
but
be here in spirit.
Yeah, he'll be here in spirit, and also in the form of his daughter.
Oh.
So this year for the festival, we're having vendor booths for the first time, and his daughter is coming, Kira Swanson, with Ducks Publishing.
Okay.
And that publishing company is also carrying on the Jenny Smith legacy, Deepest Valley and so forth. Yeah, so really neat that she'll be here.
Is this book about the kids that...
Yes. Yeah.
You must read it. It's heartbreaking what happened.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a really
I know the story, but I definitely
book.
read the book.
Yeah, very, very well written, very well researched. Yeah, really interesting. And of course, you have some of those experiences too about schools or institutions that are set up for children and for kids that seem to need some kind of outside intervention. And then, you don't know how safe those kids are.
Yeah, that's a whole other topic. But to send your kid away to one of those either lockdown boarding schools like I did for my oldest kid, or to some wilderness camp or whatever, and then to have a tragedy happen. I mean, that's a concern of all parents that when they send their kids away when they feel like they have no other choice but to send their kids away.
This episode of This Crazy Life is also sponsored by Jaspin IT Consultants. Jaspin is trusted by financial firms, hospitals, and small businesses with over 30 years of experience, specializing in computer repair for PC and Mac, managed IT solutions, managed antivirus, servers, virtualization, networking, surveillance solutions, VoIP phone service, and digital signage. We are building a reputation for creating a positive return on investments for our clients. If you are serious about your business success, our team of professionals can get you there. Strategic thinking, personal attention, competitive prices, real-world results. Discover the Jaspin difference. Located at 249 North Main Street in Bishop, California, 760-872-2797, or on the web at www.jaspin.com.
To one of these facilities and something like that happens. I mean, you put your children's lives in the hands of people you hoped are trained and who are acknowledge the dangers of the outside world, and who don't have their own agendas and that kind of thing. And yeah, when something like this happens, must have been a hard book to write. What was his relationship with? I mean, do you know why he chose to write this story about what happened at Convict Lake?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah,
it was.
no.
I'm curious.
It was one of the things that really struck me when I moved up here was how easy it is to die up here. You know, I was really surprised. Like every time I opened the newspaper, it was like, you know, somebody's died in Rush Creek or somebody's died in a lake or they fell off Mount Whitney. And I was really struck by that. It was like, wow, you know, death is sort of close here. I think it gives us a different attitude toward the world. And maybe it's a more respectful attitude toward the world. And we do have a lot of stories of loss and grief in this area. One of them is this one, which is a new novel by Janet Goldberg. And she's also coming to the festival. She's the fiction editor for Deep Wild. We're going to show that real quick here, too. This one. And this is a literary journal of wilderness writing.
Okay.
So Janet...
It says volume 5, so she's written many of them then.
Yeah, this is their 5th volume of this
see that
journal.
Way.
Yeah, I know. He has good eyes.
You know what? I have floaters.
They're not
I just
eyes.
can't see.
Not good eyes, it's
I'm like-
glasses. Good optometrist.
This is an interesting journal, and I would encourage people, if you're interested in writing, to come check it out because they do accept submissions from writers, and Janet is the fiction editor for it. But her book is about people who have gone missing in the Eastern Sierra. 2 stories that sort of combine. One of a family that lost a member in Death Valley, and then a couple that lost a person in the Eastern Sierra. But, you know, it's a common theme, right, up here.
Oh, and the numbers are rising this year with the high waters, the record heats in Death Valley. I think that the issue is I think a lot of the locals understand and respect Mother Nature here.
Yes.
I don't think that the people that are coming to visit have that knowledge or respect. They don't understand.
Yeah.
City people.
Yeah. No, exactly.
I don't mean to
Yeah.
be mean. It's just,
Yeah.
they don't have that connection and understanding of how dangerous and quickly you can die here.
Yeah, it is extreme up here. You know, the Eastern Sierra.
I never thought about this as a place where people die a lot.
Well, my friend's the coroner. I can tell you that it's a lot. People come and visit and they just don't understand. Even just simple skiing, not understanding that the altitude and their hearts and...
Yeah,
that I understand.
The risk to people who have heart issues. Yeah, for sure.
And some of them don't even know they have heart issues until they come up here.
Right.
And
they were skiing fine and normal and all of a sudden just fell over dead.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just insane.
Yeah, there's been, I mean, I know that LADWP and Caltrans have all put out major warnings about all the creeks right now. And unfortunately, we had a tragedy just recently, a young woman named Maya who passed away. Something happened at Rush Creek. 6 people have died in the water.
6 people have drowned already in Inyo.
My gosh, that's a lot. And the thing is, too, we're such a small community, so we hear about things.
She was lucky, though. I mean, I'm not lucky that she died, but lucky that she was able. We don't have a swiftwater rescue team in the area, and they were doing some practice at the time, and were able to get her body. If not, she would have been there for a long time, stuck in the rushing creek water. So people don't understand that we don't always have all the resources either.
Absolutely.
To take care of those things.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a phenomenon, especially in Mammoth, right? We have, tens of thousands of people who come to visit, but a very small group of people who are doing everything for them, right?
Yeah.
Cooking, serving them, making the beds.
Right.
It's such a fascinating community.
It is a really interesting community to live in. It's changed so much. I've lived there. I've been coming up here since the 60s, but I've lived there full time almost since early 90s, 92. Huh. But yeah, it's changed. It's changed a lot. And right after COVID, when everybody decided the summer of 2020 that they didn't want to be inside anymore, but they couldn't get on airplanes, they all came to the Eastern Sierra. And oh my gosh, it was a deluge and it was dangerous. And so what do you think about that? Because you live in both places, right? You kind of come back and forth between Southern California and Mammoth, or are you mostly up in Mammoth?
Yeah, it's probably about 50-50. It depends on what happened. So my husband got hurt last year. So we ended up not coming up as much this winter as we usually did.
Well, you know
It
what?
was an epic winter.
You know
as it
what?
turned out, right? So, yeah.
Say you didn't miss much.
I missed on it. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
A lot of good things to miss.
Yeah, it it is fascinating to cross that bridge, right? Because the culture, Southern California culture is his own thing, and the Eastern Sierra culture is its own thing also. So, it's really interesting to see the two. I do want to mention one more book as we were talking about this area.
Yeah, that's the one I've been eyeballing.
Yeah, so this is also a big treat for us. I've been asking Sid Gardner to come to the book festival for several years, and he is finally able to make it this year. So this book is a really cool.
The faults of the Owens Valley. Is that a metaphor or the faults? Like the earthquake faults?
It's both. Yeah. So this is a murder mystery, but it's set in the Owens Valley, and he talks a lot about the geography and how the killer is able to take advantage of the geology to escape.
Is it fictional?
It's fictional, to escape getting caught. But there's a lot of, nonfiction kind of information in here about the area. Yeah, it's a really interesting book, and so he'll be at the festival as well. You can meet him and get your books signed.
That's great. What is your favorite book there? You should say your book.
Yeah,
Mammoth Letters, your book?
Oh, no, not my book. Yeah, definitely not my book. Yeah, for sure.
Well, what are you reading now?
Well, I just finished your book.
Oh, that was quick.
Yeah, I finished your book. Well, your book is kind of a page turner. It's pretty racy. So,
yeah,
so,
there's some chapters you really shouldn't be under 18 to read. I know. I have friends that say, I can't believe you wrote about that. I'm like, well, it's part of the journey there, I guess.
And, if you're going to be a good writer, you have to be brave.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to disclose.
Yeah, there is. But, I'm writing another novel right now and another memoir. And some of it's about what happened to my older child. And some of it, I was my coach I'm working with. I don't have to put everything in there.
Sure.
I don't have to put all the details in there. Would you want all the details of your life out there in the world to...
Before I die, I'll write a memoir.
Okay.
There you go. Now I'll let it read. Yeah, that'll be my favorite.
Yeah.
All right, we are almost out of time here.
We are, and I apologize when we were doing that stuff earlier. It was like 14 minutes, and I was thinking, we only got 3 more minutes, and I forgot the show's 27 minutes long. I wasn't trying to speed past your book.
Oh, it's That's okay.
Right.
That's okay, Jason. It's okay. It's okay. People never get it. And yeah, we'll do something else because I'm also doing a signing at the end of the month on my birthday, actually.
And you'll be speaking at the festival. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going to interview on stage. We'll switch places.
Yep. Yeah. That'll be fun. It'll be fun. So thank you, Jennifer, for being a guest and for coming all the way down the mountain here. You can do what we all do when we come down here in the summer is get your car washed because pine pollen is flying everywhere.
Oh, it's bad here. It's not pine pollen, but maybe it is because we have a pine tree down the road. But
bad.
Every day I have to get my little California duster brush off and off my truck. It's horrible.
Crazy bad. I'm out of
a lot of it.
It's a Flonase day. Thank you so much, Jennifer.
Thank you guys.
This is so much. Slightly filtered with Stacey Powells and
Jason Brown.
Foosball King.
Yeah, there you go.
Have a good day, everybody.
We don't know yet. We'll find out later today.
Drawing coming up this month for July. Win one of these prizes: chair, table, rolling cooler, or binoculars. Come on in, ask one of the cashiers how to enter.